the one making you question things, is not what it looks like. What you have been able to see from the outside is missing crucial information. The cards are here to fill in what has been kept from your view. The Magician is the first card on the table, and he is pointing at something deliberately constructed. He is a card of intentional presentation, of someone who shapes what others see with a specific goal in mind. The relationship between this person and the third party is a presentation, not a reality. It has been crafted to communicate something to a specific audience, and that audience is not you. There are people in this person's circle who talk, who carry information, whose opinions affect what happens next. The Magician says this person has been managing what those people see carefully and with purpose. What you have interpreted as evidence of something real between them is actually something performed. It was assembled to read a particular way, to tell a particular story, for particular ears. The Seven of Swords comes in as the second card, and this card does not soften what it carries. The Seven of Swords is a card of concealment, of truth being kept away from the wrong eyes. There is something this person has not wanted known, not wanted discussed, not wanted carried further. The third party is part of that concealment, not in the way you have been imagining. They are a figure in a story being told to keep something else private and protected. The Seven of Swords is also pointing directly at the conversations happening around you right now. People are talking about you because your name keeps coming up, because this person cannot keep you out of their words. The frequency with which you appear in what they say has not gone unnoticed by the people close to them. The Eight of Cups reversed arrives as the third card, and it is one of the most telling cards in this position. The Eight of Cups upright is someone who walks away, leaving something behind with intention, reversed. It is someone who started to leave and found they simply could not follow through. This person attempted to create distance at some point, to put something else in front of what they feel. The third party is the most visible part of that attempt, placed there to tell a story to anyone watching. The story being told is not the true one, and the cards are not going to let that pass without naming it. The truth is sitting in the Eight of Cups reversed. This person is still here, still oriented toward you. They have not been able to walk away from what exists between you, no matter how the outside has been arranged. The three cards together are saying something important about why any of this was constructed at all. You do not perform, conceal, and arrange things for something that carries no weight for you. The level of effort in what has been built around this situation is its own evidence telling you what matters. What lives underneath all of it is not casual, not passing, not something this person expects to simply disappear. What is being hidden, what is being performed around, is something they have not yet found a way to say directly. The cards are showing you the truth before the situation shows it to you itself. What you have been watching is a construction, and what exists between you is not as finished as it was designed to appear. There is something else underneath all three of these cards that I want to name before we go further. This person has been trying to protect something, not from you, but from everyone else watching. The construction around the third party exists because what this person actually feels is not ready to be public. It is not ready to be discussed, questioned, picked apart by people who would not understand the full picture. What they feel for you is something they are not yet willing to hand over to the opinions of others. The Magician chooses his audience, and you have not been the audience for this particular performance. You have been the one person it was never actually intended to deceive, because the performance was never about you. It was about everyone else, the ones whose voices complicate everything. The Seven of Swords holds what needs to stay hidden until the moment is right. Not forever, just not yet. The Eight of Cups reversed confirms that nothing about this connection has actually ended, despite how things appear. The cards are not showing you a situation where you have been replaced or moved past or left behind. They are showing you a situation that is far more layered than what has been visible and far more in your favor than you have been allowed to see. Now we sit entirely with your side of this, with what you have been carrying and with what the cards see in your energy, because there is something significant here that belongs specifically to you, something worth naming before we go any further. The Star is the first card showing for you, and its presence here is not accidental. The Star is a card of someone who has been through something disorienting and came out the other side still intact. It is the card of a person who did not let difficulty harden them, who kept something soft and open despite having reasons not to. You have been in a confusing season with this situation, watching things that did not add up, feeling things that had nowhere clear to land. The Star says you moved through all of that without losing what makes you, you. Your intuition stayed active, your heart stayed engaged, your sense of what is real did not get buried under what was being performed. That is not a small thing. Most people close down when the picture becomes unclear, when the signals stop making sense. You stayed present, stayed feeling, stayed connected to what you know even when you could not prove it. The Three of Swords reversed comes in as the second card, and this card is carrying something honest about what this period has cost you. The Three of Swords upright is grief, the sharp and specific kind that comes from something that felt like rejection or replacement. Reversed, it is that grief beginning to shift, beginning to lose the weight it has been carrying, beginning to make room for something else. You have been in pain about this situation, and that pain has been real. It has not been invented or exaggerated. Watching the construction around the third party and not understanding what it meant has had a genuine impact on you. There have been moments of doubt, moments of quietly asking yourself whether you misread everything, whether what you felt was one-sided. The Three of Swords reversed is saying that those doubts are starting to lift because something in you has always known the truth. Something in you has never fully accepted the story being presented, has never stopped sensing that the picture was incomplete. That persistent inner knowing is something the cards are pointing to as important, as something worth trusting fully. Now, the Ace of Swords arrives as the third card, and this is a card of clarity cutting through confusion like a clean and sudden light. The Ace of Swords does not arrive for small revelations. It arrives when the truth is about to become undeniable, when what has been obscured is about to become visible. In your energy, this card is telling me that you are at the edge of understanding something fully for the first time. Not suspecting it, not sensing it, but knowing it with a specific clarity that does not ask for further evidence. The Ace of Swords is also speaking to the quality of your mind in this situation, to how clearly you have been processing things despite the confusion around you. You have not been naive, you have not been oblivious, you have been watching carefully and holding what you see with more precision than you have probably given yourself credit for. The Star, the Three of Swords reversed, and the Ace of Swords together are showing me a person who has been in genuine difficulty, but who has never lost their compass. Someone who has stayed anchored in what they feel and what they sense, even when the evidence in front of them was designed to point elsewhere. The cards are saying your read on the situation has been more accurate than the situation has made it look. What you have been feeling, the persistent sense that things are not what they appear, has been correct the entire time. The confusion has not been about your perception being wrong. It has been about information being deliberately withheld from your view. You are not someone who misread this connection. You are someone who is not given the full picture. And that is an entirely different thing. The Ace of Swords carries a specific permission with it, the permission to trust what you have known all along. You have been managing two realities at once, what you could see and what you could feel, and they have not matched. That dissonance has been exhausting, and the cards are acknowledging the energy it has taken to hold both at once. The doubting has been the most draining part, not the situation itself, but the question of whether your perception could be trusted. The Ace of Swords is saying it can, and what becomes clear next will confirm that completely. The Star confirms you are still whole, still carrying what matters without having let confusion take it from you. What comes next is not more disorientation. It is the part where the full and complete picture finally arrives. Now we turn fully to their side, to what has actually been happening inside this person. And why? Because the behavior that has been confusing you makes complete sense when you understand what is driving it. The Two of Cups reversed is the first card showing for them, and this card is telling me something specific. The Two of Cups upright is two people in genuine and open connection, facing each other with full visibility. Reversed, it is a connection that exists but cannot yet be expressed in the open, something real that has gone underground. What this person feels for you is not absent. It has not dissolved or transferred to the third party. It has simply been driven inward, made private, kept out of sight for reasons that have nothing to do with how they feel. The reversal here is about circumstance, not about emotion. The feeling is intact. The expression of it has been suppressed. Something in their external situation, something involving the people around them, made openness feel dangerous or premature. The Four of Pentacles comes in as the second card, and this one is showing me a pattern this person has been running. The Four of Pentacles is a card of holding, of someone who grips tightly what they are afraid to lose, who controls what they can because other things feel outside their control. This person has been holding their true feelings with a very tight grip, keeping them in a contained and private place. Not because they want to, not because the feelings are small or uncertain, but because releasing them feels exposing. There is a fear underneath this behavior, a specific kind of fear. The fear of what happens when something this important becomes visible, when other people can see it, comment on it, influence it, or use it as leverage in some way. The third-party situation has been one of the ways this person keeps their real feelings contained and protected. If everyone believes the story of the third party, the real story stays safe, stays private, stays under their own control. The Four of Pentacles says this person is not free right now. They are managing something, protecting something, containing something. The Five of Wands reversed arrives as the third card, and this card is showing me the internal environment around this person. The Five of Wands upright is conflict, competing energies, multiple forces pulling in different directions at once. Reversed, it is that conflict beginning to settle, the external noise beginning to quiet, the competing forces losing their grip. There has been interference around this person, voices and opinions and pressures from outside that have been shaping what they feel able to do. People in their circle who have opinions about their choices, about who they should be with, about what looks right. The performance with the third party is at least partly a response to that interference, a way of managing it, give the outside world something to look at, keep the real thing out of reach, maintain control over what gets seen. The Five of Wands reversed is telling me that those outside forces are losing their power over this situation. The noise is settling, the competing voices are quieting, and this person is getting closer to a place where they can move without the interference shaping every decision. The Two of Cups reversed, the Four of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands reversed together are not showing me someone who has moved on. They are showing me someone who is trapped between what they feel and what they have felt able to express. Someone managing a complicated external environment by keeping what matters most to them tightly guarded. The third party exists in the gap between what is real and what is performable given the circumstances. This person is not in love with the third party. They are using the situation to buy themselves time and cover. Time to work out how to handle the external forces and cover so that the real thing stays protected while they do. There is one more layer the cards are showing, something that sits beneath all the strategy. This person is tired of the performance, tired of maintaining something that costs energy every single day. There is a version of them that wants to set it all down, that wants the outside to finally match the inside. The Five of Wands reversed says that version is getting louder, that the exhaustion is beginning to win over the caution. What has been a careful construction is starting to feel more like a weight than a protection. The Two of Cups reversed cannot stay that way indefinitely, and this person is already feeling the full cost of keeping it there. What they actually want underneath all the management and all the performance is for the real thing to finally surface. They want you to see what has been true all along without the interference of everything that has been surrounding it. Something is shifting now. Something that has been locked in place is beginning to move. The external pressure that has been shaping this person's behavior is losing its hold, and the cards are showing what happens next. The Wheel of Fortune is the first card in this position, and its arrival here is significant. The Wheel of Fortune is not a card of slow and gradual change. It is a card of turning points, of moments where the conditions that have been holding something in place simply rotate and everything repositions. The situation you have been watching is at one of those turning points right now, whether or not it looks that way from the outside. Something in the external circumstances is shifting. Something that has been making the performance necessary is beginning to change. The wheel is telling me that the structure this person built around the third party is losing its reason to exist. The conditions that made it feel necessary are not what they were, and what was once a protection is becoming a liability. This person is about to find that maintaining the construction costs more than it is worth, that the effort required exceeds the protection offered. The Knight of Cups reversed arrives as the second card, and this card is showing me what this person is about to move through. The Knight of Cups reversed is someone who has been holding their emotional truth back, who has been moving sideways around what they actually feel rather than toward it. Reversed, this Knight is preparing to turn, to stop the sideways movement, to begin orienting toward what they have been circling. The shift is not dramatic. It is not a sudden announcement or a grand gesture in an obvious direction. It is quieter than that, more internal, a reorientation that begins in how they carry themselves and what they stop performing. I feel like things between you and this person are about to change in a way that is subtle at first and then impossible to miss. The small signals will come first, the way they speak around you, the things they stop pretending, the particular quality of attention that starts to become visible. The Tower reversed arrives as the third card, and this card needs to be read carefully in this position. The Tower upright is sudden collapse, something falling, without warning or preparation. Reversed, it is a collapse being delayed or a collapse that has already happened internally without the external structure having fallen yet. What I feel with the Tower reversed here is that the internal collapse of the performance has already occurred for this person. They have already privately acknowledged to themselves that what has been constructed cannot continue, that it is not sustainable, that it is not what they want. The external version of it is still standing, but what holds it up on the inside is already gone. The Tower reversed says the falling is imminent, not forced from outside, but released from within. This person is getting ready to let the construction come down, not because they have been exposed, but because they have decided to stop holding it up. The Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Tower reversed together are describing a sequence that is already underway. The conditions are rotating, the person is beginning to reorient, the internal holding is already released. What remains is the external expression of what has already shifted inside. The people who have been talking about you are going to notice the change before it is formally announced. The energy between you and this person is going to shift in ways that are visible to those paying attention before any words are spoken. The cards are not showing a situation where you wait indefinitely for something to happen. They are showing a situation already in motion. The Wheel of Fortune does not give specific dates. It gives seasons, and this season is one of movement. What has been static is being pushed into motion by forces no longer within this person's control. The people talking about you are part of that motion. The conversation creates a pressure of its own. When your name keeps surfacing in spaces this person moves through, the pretending becomes harder to sustain. Every time you come up around them, something responds in them that cannot be fully concealed. The people watching have noticed even if they cannot name exactly what they are seeing. That is why the conversation has been happening, because evidence of something real between you keeps leaking through. What is coming is not a crisis. It is a clearing, the natural and inevitable result of something that could not stay hidden forever. The Knight of Cups reversed is turning because the cost of staying sideways now exceeds the cost of being honest. What this person is about to do is not dramatic. It is a quiet stepping down from something that no longer serves the truth. This is the part where we go beneath everything visible into what this person has never said out loud, into the private interior of someone who has been performing one thing while carrying something entirely different. The Nine of Cups reversed is the first card in this position, and it is holding a confession. The Nine of Cups upright is someone whose wishes have been fulfilled, who is sitting in satisfaction with what they have. Reversed, it is someone who has the appearance of satisfaction but not the substance of it. This person looks, to everyone watching, like they have what they want, like the situation with the third party is filling something for them. It is not. The appearance is the construction, and underneath it is something that has not been satisfied at all. What this person actually wants is something they have not been able to publicly claim, something that exists in the territory of you. They have been living in a version of their life that does not match what they actually desire, maintaining it because the real desire has not been expressible. The Nine of Cups reversed is a confession of hunger, of someone who is not full, who has been pretending to be settled in something that does not actually settle them. The Page of Swords reversed arrives as the second card, and this one is carrying a very specific hidden truth. The Page of Swords upright is someone who gathers information, who watches, who stays in the observer position. Reversed, it is someone who has been watching and has seen more than they have let on, who carries knowledge they have not expressed. This person knows things about how you feel, things they have picked up through observation, through what has been said around them, through paying attention to signals you may not have known you were sending. They have never told you that they know, have never acknowledged what they have understood about your side of this. The reverse page has been sitting with that knowledge quietly, using it to gauge timing, to understand when the moment might be right to change the direction of things. There is also a confession in this card about what they have been saying privately, in spaces where they feel safe. The conversations happening around you have not only been started by others, this person has been part of them, has been speaking about you in ways that do not match the public presentation. In private, in the company of people they trust, the performance comes down, and what comes out is the truth of what they feel. Your name in those conversations does not carry the neutral tone of someone they are indifferent to. The Queen of Swords reversed comes in as the third card, and she is carrying the deepest confession this reading holds. The Queen of Swords upright is someone clear, direct, someone who says what they mean and does not let emotion cloud their expression. Reversed, she is someone who has that clarity internally, but has been suppressing the direct expression of it. This person knows with the sharp and unambiguous clarity of the Queen of Swords exactly how they feel about you. There is no confusion in their interior, no genuine uncertainty about what they want or who they want it with. The reversal is not about the feeling being unclear. It is about the expression of it being deliberately held back. What they have never said to you directly is this: you are not a question they are still working out the answer to. You have always been the answer. The question has only ever been about when and how and under what conditions they could say it. The Nine of Cups reversed, the Page of Swords reversed, and the Queen of Swords reversed together are showing me a person who is full of things they have not said, full of hunger that has not been satisfied, knowledge they have not revealed, clarity they have not expressed. The confession underneath all three of these cards is not complicated. It is just unspoken. They want you. They have known it clearly. And the only thing that has stood between that knowing and its expression has been the external circumstances surrounding it. You occupy a specific and persistent space in their mind. Not occasionally, not only when something reminds them. Consistently in the quiet moments when the performance is not required and the truth surfaces naturally. They think about what they would say if they could say it without calculation, without consequence, without the weight of everything surrounding it. The Queen of Swords reversed has the words prepared, the clarity is there, the knowing is complete. What has been missing is not the feeling or the wanting. What has been missing is the opening. The cards are telling me that opening is forming now, and what has been carried privately for so long is preparing to finally cross the distance. We have arrived at the final part of this reading, and before the closing cards come through, I want to name what has been confirmed. The relationship with the third party is not what you thought. It is a construction, not a connection. The people talking about you are talking because what exists between you and this person keeps surfacing, keeps showing itself. The cards have been clear from the beginning. What this person carries for you is real, protected, and not finished. The Judgment card is the first card in this closing position, and its arrival here feels significant. Judgment is the card of a call that cannot be ignored indefinitely, of something that surfaces and demands to be acknowledged. It is the card of truth rising, of what has been suppressed finally finding its way into the open. In this position, Judgment is telling me that the truth of this situation is rising now, that what has been concealed is being called forward. The construction around the third party is going to become harder to maintain as this energy strengthens, because Judgment does not allow indefinite suppression. It calls things forward into the light whether or not the timing feels convenient. This person is being called by their own truth, by the accumulated weight of what they have been carrying and not expressing. The call is becoming louder than the reasons to stay quiet. And that shift is what Judgment is marking in this position. The Six of Cups reversed arrives as the second card, and this card is carrying something about what needs to be released. The Six of Cups upright is a card of the past, of returning to what is familiar, of staying in a comfortable and known place. Reversed, it is someone who is ready to leave the familiar behind, to stop looking backward, to step out of the pattern they have been repeating. The third party situation is part of an old pattern for this person, a way of managing feelings by redirecting them, by creating distance, by keeping the real thing out of reach. The Six of Cups reversed says that pattern is coming to its end, that this person is ready to stop reaching backward for something that has never fully satisfied them. What they are turning toward as they release the familiar pattern is the thing that has been in front of them the whole time. You are not a new discovery for this person. You are the thing they have been circling, the thing they kept returning to even while pointing everyone's attention elsewhere. The Six of Cups reversed is the card of someone finally ready to stop the circling and step toward what they actually want. The World card closes this reading as the final card, and its presence here brings everything full circle. The World is the card of completion, of a cycle reaching its natural endpoint, of something that has been in motion for a long time finally arriving. In this position, at the close of a reading about concealment and construction and what has been hidden, the World is a powerful statement. It is saying that what has been covered is going to become visible, that the cycle of performance and protection is completing, that what comes after it is something whole and real and no longer hidden. The guidance the cards are closing with is this: stop measuring yourself against the construction. The construction was never about you. It was never a reflection of how this person feels. It was never the truth of where their attention actually lives. You have been watching a performance and interpreting it as reality, and the cards are asking you to stop using it as evidence. The evidence of how this person feels is not in the public picture. It is in the private one, in the conversations happening around you, in the way your name keeps surfacing in spaces where they have no reason to bring it up. Trust what has been leaking through rather than what has been carefully presented. Thank you for being here for this reading. If something in here landed, leave it in the comments below. It truly means everything. Like and subscribe if you are new. There is so much more coming your way. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. You have been carrying the weight of an incomplete picture, interpreting the construction as the full story. The cards are asking you to put that weight down because what you have been reading is not complete. What is complete? What has been true throughout is that this connection has not ended and has not moved on. It has been waiting inside something designed to protect it, for conditions to shift enough to let it surface. The World says the completion of this cycle is not a loss, it is an arrival. You have not been wrong about this person, or about what exists between you. You have simply been waiting for the outside to catch up to what has been true inside all along. The relationship with the third party is not what you thought. It is a construction, not a connection. The people talking about you are talking because what exists between you and this person keeps surfacing, keeps showing itself. The cards have been clear from the beginning. What this person carries for you is real, protected, and not finished. The Judgment card is the first card in this closing position, and its arrival here feels significant. Judgment is the card of a call that cannot be ignored indefinitely, of something that surfaces and demands to be acknowledged. It is the card of truth rising, of what has been suppressed finally finding its way into the open. In this position, judgment is telling me that the truth of this situation is rising now, that what has been concealed is being called forward. The construction around the third party is going to become harder to maintain as this energy strengthens, because judgment does not allow indefinite suppression. It calls things forward into the light whether or not the timing feels convenient. This person is being called by their own truth, by the accumulated weight of what they have been carrying and not expressing. The call is becoming louder than the reasons to stay quiet. And that shift is what judgment is marking in this position.